scoreless between the Warriors and the Legion. Glad to have you with us here at the SDSU Sports Tech alongside the Professor Pete Steinberg. I'm Kit McConico, and it is the visitors, the Warriors there in red on the front foot, going from right to left, and they have won the scrum. Our referee for today's contest, the Kiwi, the man with the best hair in the league, Scott Green. He's been with MLR since day one. The first ever rugby, the MLR final, he was the official. Joined today by Marquise Goodwin, Jacob Gonzalez, Austin Reed is our TMO. Ready to put in the Warriors. Danny Christensen, the 31-year-old out of Olympus High School in Salt Lake City, the local boy, third year. With his side, can the visitors strike first? Trying to find something in the red zone. Christensen. And stolen away at the breakdown. Legion with it. Now the Legion looking to play out of their own end. Inside the 22, a little kick to space. Both teams with opportunities. Both have been inside the other's 22. Neither have been able to come away with points here 7 minutes in.
Just as you would expect, Kit, just a little bit scrappy early on. First hit out for these teams. It's accuracy that's really important early on, and both teams are really struggling, having some opportunities. We know there was a miss kicked earlier by Joe Peterson, attacking opportunity there by Utah. So nothing. Both teams want to just take a big, deep breath and play in the game.
Peterson had a penalty goal attempt, pushed it wide, did the 37-year-old South African in his fourth year with San Diego. So neither side able to break the opening deadlock. And as you said, round one, expect some of these early jitters, some of these mistakes. They'll be cleaned up as the lineout coming for the Warriors. Chad Goff, the 30-year-old, another Beehive State native out of St. George. Batted away, back the Legion again inside their own 22. San Diego trying to find a way through, ball spilled forward, big boot sent all the way back. Well, we will come back for the whistle.
So as I said, just a little scrappy by Utah in the lineout. The lineout was so important for them last year. Great defense, but then again, losing that ball in contact. When you're near your own line, you have to hold on to that ball. All you want to do is exit the half, play in the half. That means just holding on to it, stripped out. So another great opportunity, attacking opportunity here by Utah.
Line out, stolen away, and you think San Diego with Mitchell at 6'7", and the new Ben Grant, the Aussie, at 6'9", and we'll see what the Legion can do in that set piece. But another scrum coming for the Warriors. Utah, it'll be a quick return as they jump on a plane to head to Seattle, a Thursday evening matchup. But right now, all the focus here against the Legion. Both these sides understand how important it is to start the season. Want to know, massive tackle from San Diego here. But the penalty will be to Utah. Teo ready for the quick tap and go.
So that was Van Vuren, the number 8, was taken out without the ball. You can't tackle a player unless, you can't touch a player unless they've got the ball. Van Vuren, the number 8, was having some was coming around. He was taken out, and a relatively easy kick here, you would think, to be able to get on the boards by Laubsa.
Cliven Laubsa, the 24-year-old Namibian, 19 caps with the Namibian national team, now his second year with Utah. Last year, 8 matches, 6 starts, had 14 points by way of 2 tries and the conversions. Laubsa. Easy as you please, and the opening points go to Utah.
So Utah this time taking advantage of their position. A little bit of ill discipline by San Diego. I think they'll feel a little bit hard done by, but Scott Green called it. It was right, but you kind of see that all the time.
Well, when you think of San Diego, you think of cold. No, it is absolutely beautiful weather as always in San Diego. 71 degrees, sunny. You could not ask for much more. And I know a lot of people watching from across the globe are very envious of the weather here. And Manou, one of the reasons after playing in the Southern Hemisphere, playing in France, I think coming to San Diego, spending a bit of time here, applying his trade as one of the world's best, maybe not such a difficult sell.
Well, I lived in San Diego for 2 years, Kit, and I have to tell you that you end up you stop checking the weather. Like, you literally stop checking the weather because it's always the same. Good kickoff by San Diego. They put pressure on there. Ben Grant came in to steal the ball. Scott Green said, hey, you didn't come through the gate. So Utah able to clear their lines. Both of these teams are known for their exciting play, Kit, but they're going to want to play in the opposition half. So you still will see a lot of kicking.
Line out. Pryor able to get a hand to it, but nothing more.
Wing takes it up.
So Utah able to clean up the ruck. Crusade unable to find a way through. Crusade's second year with this Utah side. Last year, 12 starts, 6 tries for the USA Eagle, and maybe the breakout player of the season. Wilson, the captain. Advantage for Utah. Bailey Wilson, the youngest captain in MLR last year at just 21 years of age.
No advantage.
And you could see the scrappiness because actually Ben Mitchell turned that ball over. In the breakdown, turned it over, but then lost it forward. And that's why we're coming back, because there was a knock-on advantage. But those are the sorts of things early on, you know, as a player, when you first get there, you can see Ben Mitchell had knocked it on, and then it was Bailey Wilson, and he almost lost the ball to Nate Osberger. You can see the fight that's going on. Those early on, that preseason, or that early season, those first contacts, everyone's a little soft, probably haven't had the chances that they would like to get that contact in practice, and so they're working through it today.
Well, particularly for Utah, compressed preseason, didn't get really the matches they were looking for in the preseason. The Legion, they had 2 preseason matches, both losses. They fell 12-10 to Austin, and then a 36-21 loss to LA. And here comes the Legion. Cohort on the front foot. No support there, looking for the offload at the 22.
Trying to recycle the ball.
But then lost it at the breakdown. Again, the support not there for San Diego.
Well, you could see it was actually a great attacking platform from Utah, but they dropped the ball. San Diego was there, but look at the work rate. Van Vuren coming in, turning that ball over. Great work rate by the number 8, but then tried to do just a little bit too much. Got knocked, and we're going to, a little bit lucky that it was knocked out, but real pressure line out here. They've had some problems winning clean lineouts. Ben Mitchell takes it.
Good throw in, able to find a lane. You saw Van Vuren there in the blue scrum cap. Teo able to get it into the hands of Christensen, avoided being bundled out, but now into touch it goes.
Well, you could see Chad Goff. Chad Goff is a hooker, but he's a real playmaking hooker. He loves to run with the ball in his hands. He's a very good playmaker, so it was smart. They threw to the back of the line out. That created space on the short side. Chad Goff comes back, and he's looking to release Mikey Teo. But some great defense there by San Diego. And again, we're still here. Utah need to work really hard to make sure they get exit out of their half.
Good throw from Goff to Lane. Lane, the former All-Black U20 man, first year with his side. A little show and go, nowhere to go. Right in to the teeth that time of Morani, the Argentine. Malcolm trying to clean things up. Uhila. Physical confrontation here.
Great contest by San Diego. When the ball is slow, you can see they're targeting the players over the ball, trying to do as much as they can to contest.
Sent deep inside the 22, takes a bounce, and out through the in-goal area it goes.
That's one of the things in hard grounds like you get in San Diego. When you kick, if the ball goes all the way through the try zone and out the back, it's a scrum to the opposition. So big mistake there by Laubser. Just kicked it too far. He found the grass, didn't get the bounce, and now San Diego have a great attacking platform. Scrum pretty much in the middle of the field, just in Utah's half, a real opportunity for them to lead on the front foot.
Get a look there, Chris Robshaw, the 35-year-old, 66 caps with England, 43 as the captain, and over 300, actually 300 appearances exactly with the Harlequins, where he is a legend. Last year, he saw action in just 4 matches before that shoulder injury ended his season. Free, live, and on demand. Not a whole lot more you could ask for in life, Pete. The rugbynetwork.com. If you are not already aware, you are missing out. Check it out, the rugbynetwork.com. Fantastic content, archived games, everything you could ask for.
Great scrum there to go forward.
Let me get a little something outside. Looking for the offload, not finding. Quick to the breakdown. Augsburger back fully healthy, and they need the captain, does San Diego. Coming here to the blind side. Lewis, little chip over the top. Again, that tough ground. Oh, this one bounces out.
That's a great kick by Tien Lutz. I wasn't sure what's going on. Normally when you switch directions, Will Hooley, they went to the left, they came all the way back to the right. But what a great kick. Didn't get into the try zone. Nothing much that Mika Kruse could do, but it looks like he touched it and it went out. This is going to be hard to stop. You have to make a choice if you're Utah here. Are you going to contest in the air and try and steal the ball? Are you going to stay on the ground and defend the ball? Lots of options here for San Diego, and Tamilau able to come in and drive.
Malcolm with a good throw finds his target, but a quick whistle. Utah bailed out.
The call is
not straight. So a real problem there for San Diego. Malcolm not getting a good throw, so it gives Utah a chance. But having seen that last scrum kit, I'm wondering if I'm San Diego and I'm like, we had the edge in that last scrum. Let's take it to them in this scrum and let's see what we can do.
Malcolm, the 28-year-old, originally from Ohio, former Wheeling Jesuit University All-American. Normally so good on those line-out throws. That time just not straight, a missed opportunity, but we'll see what San Diego can respond. They will need a big scrum here.
Just trying to work it out. There is a great matchup between Van Wyck at loose head for San Diego and Mullen at tight head. That'll be a great matchup, and it'll be one that will kind of determine 2 experienced props going at each other.
Paul Mullen, Aran Islands in Galway, where he was born, a USA Eagle, 25 caps with the Eagles. He was with San Diego back in 2019, going up against Hinkes Van Wyck, the South African in his first year with the Legion.
Early drive there by San Diego, so you can't drive forward in the scrum until the ball comes in. And San Diego drove a little bit early, pretty easy call by Scott Green.
I don't know what you're talking about. Quick tap.
Nupsa takes the opportunity to send it to touch, relieving the pressure there. So the chance for San Diego passes, at least for the time being.
Right, it's a free kick, so Utah will not get the line out. San Diego will get the line out. So he tapped it first, which is actually something he doesn't need to do, but players do anyway. They just want to, like, it's a free kick, I'll tap it. And you can see Utah have had a little bit of an edge in the possession, and I think they have a little bit of an edge in the territory, but here's San Diego have their chance.
Fire with the take, off the line out, now trying to get it out wide. The cohort dangerous in this situation. Well defended by Utah. Another kick over. This one's sitting up. Crusade there, no. Oh, little show and go. Utah coming out of their own end. Caleb McKenna, the 25-year-old from New Zealand, the former All Black U20 player. Augsburger electing to go to the blind side. A wall of bodies there. Tamilau, the big man, brought to ground. Morani. Little kick through, chase coming. Looks to read it well, the Namibian international, nowhere to go, able to get the offload before being brought down. Now McKenna again. This one out into touch. Caleb McKenna, the 25-year-old from New Zealand, former Hawke's Bay and a Highlanders man in Super Rugby.
And fakes the kick. One of these guys, very New Zealand, can play what's in front of him. An exciting player. Interestingly, he was up in the line, and Laubser at the back. You'll see that 10-15 rotation quite often.
Our first hydration break, 20 minutes in, and just 3 points on the board. The visitors leading 3-0. The penalty goal from Kleiman Lubsa in the 10th minute. Round one of MLR 2022, San Diego and Utah. Utah leading 3-0. 20 minutes in, we take the opportunity to welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew. Down on the pitch, U.S. national team member and Olympian, Abby Gustaitis.
It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. I spoke with Sean Pittman, head coach of Utah. He is the 2021 Coach of the Year. He emphasized the smaller roster this season for Utah and how it enabled them to invest more time and resources into their team. They're excited to be here. They did not have any preseason matches, so they're excited to get a good hit out here in San Diego. On the contrary, Darren Gardner, co-owner of the Legion, is absolutely stoked to be here in sunny San Diego, but looking forward to being in Snapdragon Stadium next season for the next few years. Back to you.
Thanks, Abby. Well, she mentioned, Pete, Snapdragon Stadium. That will be the new home of San Diego. And there were some questions. Last year it was difficult for San Diego. They were on the road, even though they had that 3-game winning streak. It was difficult for them to find a home. They were playing all across, trying to find a home pitch. Obviously, Torero Stadium at USD, that is their spiritual, their original home. But they'll be very happy to be at Snapdragon Stadium come next season.
Oh, I think that's right. Facilities are such a challenge here for all of the MLR teams, and so having a brand new world-class facility will be great for them.
Nice take from McKenna. Seen impressive stuff from the young Kiwi fullback early on. Not an issue that the Warriors face as they have that beautiful home pitch. Zions Bank Stadium there in Harriman, right on the Wasatch front. Take a look at the mountains in the background, and they have made that a fortress. They will go to a fortress on Thursday when they have to take on the Seawolves in front of the seawall in Tukwila. Utah across midfield. Oh, big tackle from the Legion. And turned over. Malcolm finds himself with it. Now Rob Shaw. A little bridge outside. Trying to find space along the touchline.
Again, it's that contest that the Legion have had at the breakdown that's making it very difficult. If the ball's not moved very quickly by Utah, Legion are putting in extra players and turning it over.
Outside looking for a bit of space. That support there in the form of Freire, the Argentine sevens man, couldn't get it to him. Augsburger, Tommy Lau, kept it. Advantage for the Legion. What can the cohort do with it? Back inside, able to break through. Rob Shaw. The better opportunities we've seen from San Diego, looking for another line break. Back it comes. Rob Shaw getting San Diego on the front foot. Can they turn this into points? Mitchell has a man, and it's going to be a try for the Legion. The 37-year-old fullback, Joe Peterson, with the 5.
Well, I think one of the things we saw in that sequence is when San Diego gets on the front foot, what they have is they have Will Hooley and Joe Peterson. They can both play 10, they can both play 15. So we saw sometimes Hooley being the first receiver, sometimes Peterson being the first receiver. It looks like they're each playing each half, but the break by Robshaw coming back inside from Will Hooley was really critical, being able to get onto the front foot. Great cover by Christensen, had tried to get the contest, but they moved that ball quickly. And then watch the hands, Ben Mitchell, 2 forwards, moving that ball. Beautiful hands by Ben Mitchell, nice and easy by Joe Peterson. What a wonderful try, going all the way back from their own half.
Outstanding team try for the Legion. You see all the men getting involved for the cohort. Rob Shaw looking healthy, and that is a good sign. Peterson, what a career he has had. Now his 4th year with San Diego. First team all MLR back in 2019. South African looking for the successful conversion, but no, pushes it wide to the left. Legion 5, Utah 3.
Well, the loss of Joe Peterson to both injury and COVID last year was one of the things that really knocked San Diego off. Keeping him healthy is going to be important, but the addition of Will Hooley actually manages that just a little bit. It means that they're not as reliant with just a single playmaker. Now they have 2 playmakers. And just a shout out to Nate Osberger, who was able to move that ball so quickly. And that's why they were really able to find that space out wide.
Augsburger has been so quick to the breakdown. The Minneapolis native, USA Eagles and USA Sevens. He is an SDOG, his 5th year with the Legion, and certainly one of the fan favorites. And we mentioned all the injuries last year, Rob Shaw, Augsburger, Audsley, but having a healthy Nate Augsburger, that makes all the difference.
I think it does, but there we have just some of the challenges with where you don't have the experienced 10. So you have Laubster there kicking it all the way through the try line, through the try zone, and now it's going to be a scrum back to halfway. It is the best attacking platform on the field, a scrum in the middle of the pitch kit. You can run, you can pass, you can kick, there's space. A solid scrum by San Diego, and they should really be finding a space to break the line.
The second time the young Namibian fly half has made that mistake already today. Utah getting the push. Tamilau able to get it out. Morani back for the whistle.
Just a little forward. You could see the timing wasn't quite there. Early season jitters, right? The timing was there. They had Will Hooley right behind. And so the question was, you're trying to put questions into the defense to say who's going to get the ball. But I think Osberger just held on to it just a second, trying to read that defense. And now it's Utah that have the chance for a great attacking platform.
Utah just 1 victory in the 5 previous matches against San Diego. That being said, it was the last time they faced each other, and that momentum building come from behind victory we spoke so much about in the pregame. They were down 17. They came back to win and really rode that victory into the Western Conference playoffs. I wonder if either side has an advantage here today. So far, very evenly matched.
Another little edge there by San Diego, so that's something to watch as the game goes on. Looks like they have the edge in the scrum right now.
Trying to steal it at the breakdown. Ball on the turf, able to fall on top of it. Whiting, the USA Eagle, keeping it for the Warriors. Lupsa. Hila, I believe, that time with the carry. Now back with McKenna. Just over that halfway line. San Diego able to take it back. Augsburger with no chase as this one fielded by Caleb McKenna inside the 22, and quickly out it goes.
Well, great decision there by Osberger, because when that turnover happens, it means the wing and the fullback doesn't have are not in position to receive kicks because they're up to attack. He knew that, he put it behind them, and now they've got a good attacking platform. You can see there's a little bit of some positioning, field position work that's going on here.
Line out coming for Malcolm and the Legion. 28-year-old hooker getting a few words from one of the newest members of the cohort, Hinkus van Wyk, the 29-year-old South African. Electing to go long, easily taken by Mitchell. Augsburger, Hooley, Morani. Across the 10.
So just holding on, partly 2 players coming in, didn't have support in the structure. When you look at that as a coach kit, you say their shape wasn't right. And what they mean by shape is you want a ball carrier, and then you need a player or 2 behind them, and you want to make sure you have that. But again, kicking being a real problem for Utah, doesn't make touch, and now San Diego are able to clear their lines.
We've seen numerous kicking errors from Utah early on. It's something they will no doubt want to clean up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's going to be really critical. You've got to make touch. They're really giving San Diego field position by their errors in their clearing. So maybe we'll see McKenna take a little bit more of those kicks as we go through the game.
That's a 2 kicks from Lubsa that went through the tri-zone. This one
jumping through the line, which you have to stay in rugby kit. We always talk about a fair contest. You want to make sure there's a fair contest. The ball has to be put between, thrown in between the 2 jumpers, but you cannot close that gap and jump through. And so, again, just a little scrappy here in this game. We talked about the high scoring that both of these teams had last time. I don't think either of us would think that we would come into the 30th minute mark with just 8 points scored. But first game of the season, that scrappiness really preventing either team from getting into a lot of rhythm.
Christensen trying to spin it out wide. Both these teams, the early season mistakes, as you might imagine, here in round 1. Both understand what their opponent brings to the table, even though there's not been a preseason match for the Warriors. Off the hands of Teo, but back for the whistle. Going against the Warriors, coming in from the side, says Scott Green.
Yeah, one of those things that's a little bit unusual to call on an attacking team coming in from the side, but it's something the referees are looking for because we want that fair contest. Everyone has to come from their side of the ball.
With a nice kick to touch, back is up. We'll resume play with a line out to San Diego Legion.
The Legion with a line out. Take a look at that penalty against Utah.
As the ball comes out, everyone that comes into this ruck has to come from their own side. When you get that go forward, Lance Williams, number 6, coming clearly in from the side. Pretty obvious there for Scott Green.
Williams' 5th year with the Warriors, a fan favorite. Former Hawaii football player, bowling through, able to find something loose with the carry. Now Malcolm. San Diego fans on their feet. Hooley. Big tackle for Utah. Augsburger. Low pass, able to retain possession are the Legion. Quickly there, Hooley. Back to Morani, fortunate to keep it.
Great counter ruck.
Ball is out, Nathan Ball.
Weren't able to win it. So you could see the Utah players were saying, hey, there was offside, and Scott Green said the ball's in play. San Diego need to build some shape here.
Advantage for the Legion. Augsburger setting things up, bringing Malcolm over. Pryor.
Legion going wide.
Able to find Basson. Oh, and then right into the hands turned over. Tyler Fisher to take it. But the penalty for the Legion, we will see what they elect to do in this situation.
I think they might end up kicking this one to touch. It looks like it's quite a long way over. Joe Peterson didn't strike really well in the first kick, and so I would take it, I would put it down and put it down there. And you can see it's a slow ball, but they're trying to generate fast ball with their runners. Pryor gets there. Look at that, hands out to Basson. Big, strong former Springbok goes forward. Great covering coming back by Fisher to be able to intercept that ball.
Bjorn Basson, the 35-year young former Springbok Buck, and it'll be Peterson electing to bring the tee out. We will see if he can tack on 3. He missed a penalty goal, missed a conversion, I should say, on that try that he had in the 22nd. Sloan had that missed penalty goal early on. So far has been unable to split the uprights. Can he here?
Looked like he missed it again, and so it's going to be a 22 dropout. And I think that we're, you know, I'm still, that's very San Diego. San Diego, I think, you know, have always made some decisions. They've always taken the points because they've had good kickers. But in those situations, your lineout's beginning to work. Put it into touch. Let's go for the try.
Peterson unable to split the uprights. He's 0 for 3 today. San Diego back on the front foot. Have the fans on their feet. A little kick through. McKenna read it well, was there in plenty of time. Over to Teo, has not gotten many opportunities, ball in hand. Williams bobbles it.
Oh, that was, I mean, that's the play that we see from Utah. You could see McKenna got the ball and he was like, I'm going to kick it. And then he said, no, I'm not. He goes here, am I going to kick it? Nope, I'm going to move it. And right here, you see Teo takes the ball really well, goes one more across, and Lance Williams just has some issues there. You could see he was looking up. I think he had numbers out wide, and he tried just to move it a little bit early.
So again, we apologize, experiencing technical difficulties, and we appreciate you bearing with us here in round one, live from SDSU Sports Deck in San Diego. San Diego taking on Utah, and, well, the home team on top 5-3, just over half an hour in.
You know, this has been such an interesting game because what we've seen is the Legion twice have had good front football, and when they've had that good front football, they've been able to hold on for 3 or 4 phases. They've broken the Warriors, but they actually haven't done that often. Their accuracy hasn't been good enough. And for Utah, kicking errors have been the real story. They want to play the game in the San Diego half, and they haven't been able to do that because they haven't made touch or they've kicked through the try zone. It's been a real challenge for them. They have to really make sure that they tidy up that kicking game so they can play that territory.
Pete, those stars for the Warriors that we spoke so much about, Mikey Teo, Mika Kruse, so far they have not been able to make any impact whatsoever.
No, they haven't. In fact, the big impact they've had is the way they've been defended. They're both on the wing, and what's been really interesting is both Kruse and Teo have been going forward to cutting out that wide attack, which is one of the things that you can do. The way San Diego have countered that is by that kick through. We've seen Lutz do it really well. We've done Will Hooley do it so really well.
So we've seen one try thus far. Take a look at the only try, and it came from the Legion's Joe Peterson.
And this is where, I mean, when they've been able to hold on to the ball. So this is slow, right? We know what they're going to do here, right? You think they're going to kick, but they say, no, we're actually going to move the ball. We're going to move it wide, and we're going to be able to play. And I think that is going to be the trick. Not kick the ball away, use their big forwards to get that go forward. And once they start playing, now they become really difficult. Tamalau's able to go forward. And here we have Will Hooley coming back inside to Rob Shaw. Rob Shaw makes that break. No support around him, so he decides, I'm just going to hold on to it. Good clear out there by Moraney. And then watch this as it goes wide. The handling with the forwards. Grant able to take that ball, come down. And then as the ball comes wide, watch this handling by Mitchell, able one-handed get it out to Joe Peterson. A really, really nice work try, but it all comes back from Nate Osberger using his vision to be able to see there's space when he was going to kick. That's what Nate Osberger does, and that's what they missed last year when he was injured.
Yeah, full credit there to the forwards, the pair of second rows, Mitchell and Grant looking like backs, the way they're able to get that ball in and out of their hands quickly and with accuracy.
And that's the modern type 5 forward. You have to be able to, you can't just run it in. Having soft hands make a huge difference.
Some of our stats thus far: possession, even as you might imagine. Territory, absolutely even at 50%. Scrums, neither side able to really dominate the scrums thus far. But take a look at penalties conceded and the handling errors.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I would say that San Diego have had the edge on the scrum, but Utah have been able to just about hold on. I would also say that Utah have had the edge in the line-out, although they haven't been able to win the ball cleanly. The line-outs have been very contested and been very difficult for both teams. And then the penalties are the big thing. Penalties conceded by San Diego. Utah should really be able to have more points on the board, be able to play more territory because of that penalty count, but they just haven't been able to do it because of the kicking errors. San Diego, you can see those handling errors have been a problem. That's why they haven't been able to get into their attacking flow.
So we bring you back live here at the SDSU Sports Deck. Scrum coming for the Warriors. The final few minutes of the first half. Again, we appreciate you bearing with us through our technical difficulties, trying to get things worked out as quickly as possible for you. And it's been a war of attrition between Utah and San Diego. We figured it would be a high-flying affair between the Warriors and the Legion. It still may well be in the second half, but thus far through 39 minutes, neither side really able to exert any dominance. We've seen a good battle in the front row.
Mullen and Van Wyck have had a really, really good battle, and it actually looks like Van Wyck has a little bit of the edge right now, and that's why San Diego's scrum have been really solid, but the Utah scrum has been a real challenge.
Hankus Van Wyck, he was slated to join San Diego a year ago, however signed with the Red Hurricanes of the top league in Japan, former Cheetahs man Sonics Blues, along with the Blue Bulls in Super Rugby for the South African native. His first appearance in MLR. Utah, they have not found a try thus far. Their only lead, that was 3-0 early on. So with the penalty goal, a try here moments before halftime would be massive momentum-wise.
Yeah, the defense by San Diego has been really impressive. They've been very physical, and they haven't allowed much space. But there we go. They're able to get around the outside.
Able to find Fisher, trying to find some space there along the touchline. Back in, Goff. Mentioned such a great carrier.
It's too slow here, and it should set up the defense to be able to hold on to these drives.
Vandenberg bowling forward. He will have to get it wide, looking for the line break. Impressive defending from the Legion. And able to come away with it, stolen at the breakdown. Now the cohort on the front foot. Mitchell with it. Mitchell, long legs. Oh, tried to get the offload, not finding a teammate, instead back with the Warriors.
Yeah, not something you really want to do if you don't know that you're going to have the pass, just hold on to it.
Teo trying to loop it outside where he finds his loose head, Franco Vandenberg.
Very messy coming to the end of the half. Might just be the fact that they're tired. It's really hard to get even game fit if you haven't played before. So right now, I think Utah just want to take their time, set up, and not make any mistakes in their own half.
Again, alluding to the fact the Warriors did not have a single preseason match, and maybe seen some of that as they're already hands on hips, and out into touch goes the kick from Christensen. The halftime whistle from Scott Green. A cagey affair through the first 40 minutes, and just a 2-point advantage for the host. It's San Diego 5, Utah 3, as the teams go to the sheds for the halftime break.
Mikey Teo, it's Ashton Forte. Well, this Warriors outfit, just sit back and enjoy some of the best attacking rugby. The left, huge numbers, no, they won't need to. Jensen, Crusade, Wilson, coast to coast, under the post, 7 points for the Warriors, and just when you thought.
Two opposing forces, one cannot exist without the other. The push and the pull, the give and the take. This is what gives rise to all things. This is life. This is rugby. What comes easy takes so much hard work. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. 100 setbacks, then, out of nowhere, a breakthrough. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby.
Welcome to On the Mark with me, Mark Stabina. Each week I'll be breaking down and simplifying some of the best plays of the week from the MLR season of 2022. And that's not all. I'll also be returning with the classy Stacey Pates to bring you All Access, America's only rugby magazine show, airing every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 2. The 2022 season is underway and there's no shortage of off-season talking points. Here are the main MLR headlines. Let's start with the defending champs, LA. Can they keep the party going as Stephen Hoyle steps out of his assistant coaching role and into the hot seat? Matt Giddo straps on the boots again, while his Wallaby mate Adam Ashley Cooper trades his boots for a coaching whistle. Last season's finalists, Rugby ATL, have also lost their influential head coach, Scott Lawrence, but they get a fresh start under the guidance of Stephen Brett and Blake Bradford. Arguably the biggest coaching departure is that of NOLA's Nate Osborne. The MLR's longest serving coach makes way for his understudy, Kane Thompson. And move over King Creole because King Carlos Spencer has arrived to add some all-black magic to the NOLA coaching team. Speaking of New Zealand legends, Ma'anonu is back with San Diego to finish what he started in 2020, while former All Black Danny Lee takes over as head coach. It's a welcome return to their home base for Toronto after last season's exile, and new head coach Peter Smith will be relishing that proper home advantage. Texas becomes the most represented state in the league, with Houston, Austin, and now Dallas joining the fray. Houston's new director of rugby, Heineke Meyer, adds some South African beef to the squad. Sam Harris's AGs will attempt to hold on to the Texas Cup and add the MLR Championship Shield to the trophy cabinet. And a very warm welcome to the Dallas Jackals in their inaugural season, boasting first-round top draft pick Eric Naposki. Well, that's it for now. We'll dig into all this and more on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for All Access on FS2.
Mikey Teo, it's Ashton Fortain. Well, this Warriors outfit, just sit back and enjoy some of the best attacking rugby. The left, huge numbers, no, they won't need to. Jensen, Crusade, Wilson, coast to coast, under the post, 7 points for the Warriors, and just when you thought...
Two opposing forces, one cannot exist without the other. The push and the pull, the give and the take. This is what gives rise to all things. This is life. This is rugby. What comes easy takes so much hard work. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. 100 setbacks, then, out of nowhere, a breakthrough. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby.
Halftime in San Diego, the hosts leading the Utah Warriors 5-3 here at SDSU Sports Park. Neither side able to pull away, just the lone try courtesy of the cohorts Joe Peterson in the first 40 minutes alongside the Professor Pete Steinberg. I'm Kit McConico. And Pete, you and I, well, we're the jinx. We talked all about the high-flying matches between these two. They combined 8 points in the first 40 minutes.
Well, this does feel like a preseason game. We know Utah didn't get any hit-outs. Lacking accuracy, some bad kicks by Utah is putting pressure on themselves, and ball handling has been a real problem for the Legion.
Has indeed. Standings across the league, and well, some teams have yet to see the pitch. A few others impressive starts, including for Rugby ATL, big victory yesterday, Austin, and the surprise thus far, Houston, with a win over the defending champion Giltinis.
So Houston over the Giltinis was a big win. I think yesterday most things went the way you thought they would. ATL over a young Old Glory team. The Gilgronis, excuse me, showing that they can score against the expansion Dallas. But this is where Houston over the Giltinis and the Free Jacks over the Gold. Those are two big upsets in week one.
You mentioned Rugby ATL and what they were able to do over an Old Glory side, a young Old Glory side, and well, impressive from Rugby ATL. We will see some of that. We'll see some of those highlights from these two teams, and it was absolute fireworks yesterday in round one. A 55-pointer put up by the men from the Peach State.
That's right, this young Old Glory team was able to hold on early, but then really the experience of ATL, some hard running, some physical forwards, really able to have them pull away. And a great start by an ATL side that have been rocked a little bit by some coaching turnover coming into the season.
And down in the Lone Star State, Dallas, their first ever matchup. It was not a warm welcome from the AGs.
Well, they started well, got that try. They hung around for a little bit, but the AGs, they are showing the explosiveness to match their great defense that I think makes them a real contender in the Western Conference this year.
Keep an eye on that side, along with their fellow Lone Star State side in the SaberCats. What a victory they had.
Well, I think the SaberCats put a marker down. A very good pack. They were great in the lineout. They were great in the scrum. Couldn't score except in the turnovers, and in the second half really turned pressure into points. The Giltinis never looked in it. It's going to be interesting to see how they recover as they go through the season.
New director of rugby, new coach, a South African flavor for the men in Houston, and already paying dividends in that round one victory over the defending champions. You mentioned what we saw, maybe a bit of an upset. Certainly the way this one went down, Bodine Waka impressive for New England.
I think Bodine Waka at 10, they made that change last year. It changed their season. Disappointing start for the Gold. Got a beautiful stadium there, but they just weren't able to take their opportunities, and some work to do for the Gold to bounce back. But this is the start that the Free Jacks have had, training in the snow coming into the season.
New England getting that round one victory on the road down in the Big Easy. Halftime here in San Diego. The hosts on top, 5-3.
Mikey Teo, it's Ashton Fortain. Well, this Warriors outfit, just sit back and enjoy some of the best attacking rugby. The left, huge numbers, no, they won't need to. Jensen, Crusade, Wilson, coast to coast, under the for the Warriors, and just when you thought...
Two opposing forces, one cannot exist without the other. The push and the pull, the give and the take. This is what gives rise to all things. This is life. This is rugby. What comes easy takes so much hard work. 1 step forward, 3 steps back. 100 setbacks, then, out of nowhere, a breakthrough. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby. This is life. This is rugby. Devour it. Throw your arms around it. Breathe it in and in and in. We are not here to hold back. We are here to brave new paths, to rise up together and become something greater. This is life. This is rugby. This is the rise of rugby. This is Major League Rugby.
Today's match is brought to you by C3 Bank. Beautiful San Diego, California, as we take a look at the highlights from the first 40 minutes. The lone try, courtesy of Joe Peterson and the Legion.
So it's all about the forwards here. Grant takes it in, able to move that ball wide. Ben Mitchell takes it out to Joe Peterson. A really great period of play that went from their half, and that decision by Nate Osberger not to kick but to pass.
First half stats, very even in possession territory. See scrums, maybe a slight advantage in that set piece for San Diego. But that being said, the penalties really one of the numbers that stands out along with handling errors.
Yeah, this should be a game that San Diego should have an advantage, but they haven't been able to take it.
We're ready to get underway for the second half. Again, glad to have you with us. Our apologies, and we appreciate you bearing with us through the technical difficulties in the first half. A marquee matchup here in round one of the 2022 MLR season. Williams across, still on his feet, takes another with him, lost it. And back to Vandenberg, stays with Utah. And that is what you want to see from Lance Williams, the blindside flanker. Christensen there, a little kick through. Lubza trying to find his target. Augsburger well read. And Hooley quickly back the other way and out into touch.
Well, great kick by Hooley there. It was a good play. Saw Lance Williams able to break through. That's what he can do. He's such a dynamic runner. But Nate Osberger really able to go there. But you could see when the ball comes down, he puts his head down, goes right through, and then puts it down, Osberger, but loses the ball, which has been a little bit of that challenge. And then Hooley, who's played a lot of fullback, particularly for the Eagles, is comfortable back there. Osberger gets in the ball, and what a great kick.
Put it perfectly, outdid Hooley. Line out coming in a dangerous place, and this is what you want if you're the Legion. Opportunity to find points early here in the second half.
And of course, this is the new 50-22 rule. So he was in his own half, he kicked the ball, it bounced and went outside in the 22. So not only does he gain the territory, but he also gains the throws. This is a great attacking platform by San Diego.
Oh, over the head, off the fingertips of Pryor, still back with the Legion. Trying to find a bit of space, Lutz unable to get free. Augsburger, Tommy Lau. Med immediately bounces off one would-be tackle, can't get away from a second. Hooley inside Morani. Morani dancing, Morani. Augsburger there. Tommy Lau able to clean things up at the ruck. Robshaw with a little pick and go.
Robshaw trying to recycle ball.
Hooley. Oh, into the hands of Big Bowman. The prop unable to find any space, no momentum. Now a chance here. Pryor, the Kiwi,
Offloads.
finally out wide.
Peterson looking for options.
San Diego
It's a kick down.
trying to regroup.
Referee playing advantage.
Morani able to get the offload. Still very nicely done going through the phases here for the Legion. Williams calling for reinforcements on the open side.
They're going through the phases, but so far they haven't been able to make the break.
Into the hands, they're able to find Basson. Bjorn Basson, across and down. There is the break. The former Springbuck back brings the fans to their feet in San Diego.
What's the opposite of the commentator's curse? Because I said they hadn't had a chance to make a break, but they wore down. They were able to move it. I think both of these teams are defending very well in the middle of the field. It is around the edge where they have the opportunity, and that's what San Diego were able to do. Went all the way to one side, all the way back, and I think that's what allowed them to go. So you can see they've got great handling. That's where they've got multiple playmakers able to take the ball, able to get over the line, and it's Basson, who's such a strong finisher, and Lutz able to make that pass, known for his hard running, but there the timing of his pass was beautiful.
Basson, 35 years from the Eastern Cape, was in the Russian Pro League before making his way stateside a year ago, and he has been a force. One of the top try scorers for the Legion since making his trip stateside. Peterson pushes it wide to the left, another miss. And San Diego extends the lead now to 7. The Legion leading 10-3.
Well, Basson is one of those players that's a finisher. If you give him that sort of space, he's so big, he's so strong, he is going to be very difficult to stop. And San Diego want to put him in the ball, with the ball in space more often to be able to take advantage.
Outstanding player. Now the home team really feeling it, coming out quickly. And Pete, it's a cliche, but coaches so often they talk about ending a half, starting a half well, and that is exactly what San Diego's done. Points just 4 minutes into half number 2.
Right, and you can see that they've really created some momentum here, being able to go forward. Now they're looking to run it. Now they're looking to hold on to the ball. And I think Vandenberg called there for losing their feet. And so once this San Diego team get on the front foot and get their tails up, they are going to be very, very difficult to hold back. So Utah need to get some possession, keep their discipline, and be able to get back into the San Diego's half and probably just hold on to the ball for a little bit.
Mentioned San Diego, they were the cream of the crop the first few years, one of the league's founding members back in 2019. They were first in the regular season, within seconds of securing that title, only to see the Seawolves snatch it right in the Legion's backyard. But they've been trying to get back to that level ever since. They were a perfect 5-0 in the pandemic-shortened season of 2020, but last year just 6-10, finishing 9th out of 12th.
And injuries were really critical, and I think if you look at the history of MLR, actually injuries are a pretty good indicator of their ability. And what a great tape by Robshaw, one-handed.
Robshaw, Morani. Robshaw, he can do it all, the former England international. Mr. Harlequins, Chris Robshaw. Still able to break through the big second row for the Legion. Now out wide, able to get the offload. Now back inside, Warriors staunch defending from the men in red. Hooley, Tamilau, looking for Basson and elects to keep it. Tamilau taking a body with him. Now Hooley has Basson, couldn't get the hands free.
Holding onto the ball and just moving this Utah defense around. That's what San Diego need to do. They'll find the space.
Able to break through, just shy of the try line. Looking for that second effort. Still shy, Augsburger. Trying to find his way in is Hooley. Green playing advantage for the Legion. Massive tackle from McKenna. Inside the big man, Van Wyck. Trying to sneak around Augsburger. around the side. What a heads-up try from the 32-year-old from the land of 10,000 lakes.
We talked at halftime, Kit, about San Diego had the handling errors. They just had to hold on to the ball. So this is the second try where they've just been patient and gone through the phases and been able to find the holes. But it all comes down to their ability to win that ball in the set piece. And they get that, look at that one-handed take by Chris Robshaw. In that's where they were able to get it. Then go forward by Maroney, able to get over the line. And then after that, it was about the patience, the ability not to try and do too much, hold on to the ball as they go through, use their forwards. Grant gets over the gain line, but they continue to be patient here as they come wide and able to find those opportunities. And once they were able to take it all the way back and all the way back again, Osberger's able to look up, see the hole, see McKenna lean to the outside. Very, very easy. Very, very easy try.
Augsburger, the pride of Minneapolis Southwest High School in the Twin Cities. Peterson splits the uprights and tacks onto a successful conversion. It makes it 17-3 San Diego. San Diego, a pair of tries and a successful conversion in the second half, extending to their lead.
Well, a great try. That's what we said. San Diego get their tail up. They're difficult. Now Utah have to take a big, deep breath, continue to play their game, and they need the ball. They need some strong scrum ball, some strong line-out ball. Let them play some territory. They can score points. We know that they were 17 points up, 17 points down last year and came back. We know that they have that in them, but they really need to be very, very conscious and just take their time and not panic.
Pete, last year San Diego's captain's armband was worn by 4 different players. Nate Augsburger is hoping it stays on his bicep for the entirety of 2022. We head back down pitch side to check in with Abby.
This is the exact start Danny Lee is looking for in his team. I caught up with the head coach at halftime, stating that they're their own worst enemy at this moment. Multiple trips to their 22, no conversions, the 2 missed kicks. They'll be happy with that patient build-up. Chris Robshaw also reiterated the frustration with their own handling errors, and their ability to convert those 2 tries early on is a great start and exactly what they're looking for.
It was indeed. Thank you, Abby. As you see, Ratu Vugakoto, the Fijian international hooker, having come on, taking the place of Chad Goff for Utah.
Yeah, Abby's right. It really is about just looking after their handling errors and just being really, really patient. And that's what they did, and they were able to do it. But we know that Utah have some ability to be able to go forward.
And that's exactly what they need. Mikey Teo, they need ball in hand from MLR's reigning player of the year. Less than a handful of opportunities to do anything. And Mikey finally, and you see what he can do, ball in hand, absolutely electric, is number 14, the vice captain.
So this is what he wants to do, is he wants to make sure that he goes forward. Look at the power of going through. But what happens is that Utah do a great job. You can see Robshaw and Pryor holding him up, and the referee says that's a maul. And when they went down, a maul is a turnover, and that's why it's a scrum to San Diego.
Out of Long Beach Poly High School in the greater Los Angeles area, there in Long Beach, an absolute factory for athletic talent, the Jackrabbits. Teo illustrating that point perfectly.
Big opportunity here for Utah to continue to have a little bit of an edge. Bigger hooker means that they should be able to get a bigger drive.
Utah having brought on Niall Saunders as well as scrum half. Former Ireland U20. Teo, little box kick over. This one right to Peterson, not ending up where Teo was hoping, but back we will come. Teo playing the advantage wisely.
So bringing in Vugakoto, who is a much bigger hooker, that allows them to have a bigger drive. You can see the ball immediately, not a great hook. And look at the drive. Look at how the San Diego players get turned sideways. Easy penalty for Scott Green. That's an opportunity. If they can really get the upper hand, that's an opportunity for Utah to say, hey, we can get back in this game because we can own this scrum.
Vugakoto will come over to take the line out. 9 caps with the Fijian national team. He was on their 2019 World Cup side. now in his second year with the Warriors.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of subs coming in for San Diego pretty quickly. They've got some good experience in Molds and Ryan on the bench that could shore up that scrum.
Good throw, Uhila. Now Van Vuren trying to get the offload. Back to the open side. Ball on the turf. Tommy Lau unable to get to it. Pryor was there, and it's back with San Diego. Oh, Bassan, one hand to reach back for it. Pryor inside to Mitchell. Mitchell. Oh, what a hit. Brought down Van Vuren, absolutely obliterating the ball carrier. And there's a man down on the pitch for the Warriors as this kick trails out into touch.
Well, some great play there by San Diego from the turnover. That you can see in space, they're so dangerous. But again, the handling error broke it down. So they get the turnover, some poor accuracy at the scrum, and Osberger's able to get Bassan. I was kind of surprised here. Bassan didn't try and take the outside, but he had Pryor on the inside, some great hands. Mitchell's there. Mitchell does that a lot. We've seen him a couple of times have that handoff and that chase back by Van Buren. That was a big hit.
Van Vuren, the tackle on his countryman, Henkus Van Wyck. And that is Saya Uhila down on the pitch. Uhila, the 35-year-old USA Islander man.
I think when Uhila took it in, you could see that his ball placement was really poor. Like it just kind of rolled out. That isn't how you want to place the ball. You want to place it so it doesn't move, because that's how you know your teammates know where the ball is. It looked like Uhila, he got hit, and somehow the ball got rolled off. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens at that point and see what happens in the injury.
Van Wyck having his left ankle taped. Take another look.
So Van Buren puts it in. Uhila gets it right here, gets hit as he goes down. You can see the ball placement. He just lets go of the ball. It looks like he hurts his knee. Just lets go of the ball, and that's what allowed the turnover to happen. So hopefully he's okay. But you could see he grabbed his knee. When you go down like that and you see a player let go of the ball kick, you know that there's something wrong.
And again, just celebrated his 35th birthday earlier this week. Comes from a rugby family, as is so often the case. His brother with one of the best nicknames in all of rugby, the Tongan Bear, Lonnie, formerly there in Super Rugby with the Hurricanes, and most recently in Clermont in France.
And we had Uhila recently on MLR Kickoff, which you can see on the Rugby Network. And he has a great story. He came over here. He comes from a rugby playing family in Tonga. Came over here, wasn't going to play rugby. One of his friends was like, hey, you want to come and play up like on the weekend up in, I think, Oceanside? He's sure, come play. And now here he is. And he's sort of like the godfather to everyone in Utah. So a really great story of a great player who found professional rugby sort of by accident.
The rise of rugby. If you're watching the Rugby Network, you know all about it. These fans, they know all about it out here enjoying the beautiful weather in this fantastic match, and they have to be absolutely pleased as their team. They've rattled off 12 unanswered in the second half. Have the Legion tries from Bassan and Augsburger. Peterson successful on the conversion on the second.
Great line out, and this is what San Diego didn't do in the first half, was get good possession. So it was a really great line out that allows them to play, but there's the handling error and the turnover.
Malcolm trying for the one-handed offload, instead turned over. Now Williams through, Lance Williams. Williams still on his feet. Williams finally brought down by Tommy Lau. Now Van Vuren. Big Franco Vandenberg. Vandenberg bowling forward. And the prop making meters the hard way. Back to Williams. Williams through another. Gets the offload to Uhila. Williams really starting to make an impact. Again, Niall Saunders, the Irishman, son of the former Irish captain Rob Saunders, now on as the scrum half. Inside, Williams goes through the tackle. Williams no worse for wear, I say that, but ball turned over. Augsburger.
All that work and they end up turning it over. Real problem, and then a high tackle right there.
The high tackle immediately after the turnover, but Lance Williams, he is someone the Utah fans know and love well, and this is why.
He is such a powerful player, able to drop his shoulder, keep going forward. Twice in that he generated that go forward. You cannot go high on him. he's someone that we've already seen from Utah that can generate the go forward they need.
And Williams, like so many rugby players, what he does off the pitch, almost more impressive than on the pitch. As anyone who knows anything about the Warriors and Lance Williams, he's a special education preschool teacher. But all that goes out the window when he steps on the pitch, where he is an absolute animal.
Well, unfortunately, all of that work led to a penalty. Looks like player taken off the ball, called in by the assistant referee on the touchline. And so it's going to be a penalty to San Diego. So Utah are showing that with forwards like Williams, they can generate that go forward. And I think we're going to see this a little bit of a better service from Saunders as he's replaced Christensen at 9. That allows them to play just a little bit quicker. That will eventually open up the space on the outside.
Saunders, the former Harlequins man on Utah. They need to get something going. Can they get it through McKenna?
Another missed kick to touch.
So again, our apologies. We are experiencing technical difficulties as we've been unfortunately battling at the entirety of this match. And again, we very much appreciate your patience. We're doing everything we can to remedy this. And unfortunately, as entertaining as this match has been, particularly in the second half, San Diego, I have no idea what first-year head coach Danny Lee had to say at the break, but it certainly had the intended effect.
Well, San Diego have shown when they hold on to the ball and go forward, they're really able to generate a lot of opportunities out wide. They've been able to consistently get to the edge of Utah, but only with patience. Only when they go through the phases are they able to find that space. And it's Tian Lutz on the outside giving it to Passon. That was the end of a really long sequence. And again, just holding on to the ball, they're able to find those opportunities. And this time, a multi-phase attack led to Nate Osberger. So what San Diego, I'm sure what Danny Lee said, and we heard Abby talk about this, is just let's hold on to the ball. Let's reduce these handling errors, and then we'll be able to create those opportunities and take those scores out wide.
San Diego 2 tries in the first 7 minutes of half number 2. Passon and then Augsburger. Peterson was successful in the conversion on that second try from Nate Augsburger, and it is 12 unanswered for San Diego. A second half, very impressive performance from the home team.
I think that there's a real opportunity for Utah. You can see that they have had their preseason game, they're having some problems, but if they can hold on to it, I think it's important. And I also think that they actually have, on Utah, they've got some real depth that they could bring in on the reserves. I think when we come up, if we look at, you've already seen the impact of Vuga Koto, who's come in and made a big difference. McClellan was him and Mullen really came back and forth. Vuli is back, so their pack is able to get some stuff. We've seen Saunders come on, and we know that Vaifale is someone that can really bring some explosiveness off the bench.
Yeah, James Vaifale, someone unfortunately the Legion know well, as he was the man who had that final try that come from behind victory last year in Utah when they were down 17. The final seconds, James Vaifale came off the bench for that game winner, and Utah hoping for something similar here today as well. Utah on cue, able to find points, we are now being told. So the try for the Warriors, conversion pending, and if they hit this one, they can cut it to a one-score game.
Well, we know that Utah can come back. We talked a little bit about what their reserves can do. Of course, there's some pretty good reserves on the San Diego side, including Ryan Madius and Mar Nonu.
There's a gentleman who everyone, not just Legion fans, want to see, and we will see if number 23 indeed makes his way out for the Legion. So unsuccessful on the conversion attempt. It stays 17-8, but big try there, and that is much needed for Utah. Still plenty of time remaining. And well, we have technical difficulties. The good news is you come back and there's a legend on the pitch for the Legion. Number 23 on his back, All Blacks, number 1031, Ma Nonu on the pitch.
So we should see him provide some physicality and defense, but most importantly, his handling around the field is going to open up that wide attack where they've had a lot of success.
Getting close to halfway through the final 40 minutes. Just about 20 minutes remaining. Still the hydration break pending. But Utah with a bit of momentum, something they have not had since the very early stages. Back it goes. Vukoto battling with Augsburger. The big Fijian has it. He finds his man. Oh, but we will come back. It looks like the Warriors were off to the races, Pete.
Yeah, I think that was offside from the kick, Kit. When a kick is made, you have to start behind the ball. If you're in front of the ball, you cannot go forward. And I think Vukoto was in front of the kicker when he went forward. Some great fight here to be able to get the ball and a real opportunity. You see the ability to be able to get round the field by Jamie Lane right there, but in front of the kicker. So Utah scored. Now San Diego have a chance with their line out. Take it in. They haven't looked to drive it too much, and now with Marnonu, maybe they'll look to play something and give him the ball on, play with the ball in his hands, get some players around him.
The Kiwi, the Utah fans, they have seen him before. San Diego fans, they got to see him in that pandemic-shortened season back in 2020. 4 starts, 3 tries for the All-Black legend, and very happy to have his services back in Southern California. Obviously a fan favorite, and for good reason. 2 World Cups, a cross and down San Diego. It looked like it was Utah headed the other way, and in an instant, San Diego comes back with 5 of their own.
It's the penalties that are really hurting Utah. A great line-out drive. We hadn't seen them do this, but they actually drove in. They drove in, and when you change that line and you drive into the middle of the field, it becomes more difficult to defend. Very, very tidy, and a great return.
Well, after a difficult season, injury-plagued a year ago, Legion fans, they weren't quite sure what they would see from this side in 2022, but if what we've seen today is any indication, very impressive. Peter Malcolm, the 28-year-old out of Ohio, the Wheeling Jesuit man with the try, his first of the season.
Of course, Wheeling Jesuit having a great rugby program, producing many players. And it's the reason why you see so many hookers be on the high scoring list, because they're right at the back of those mauls. And that's why they're able to score. It's really the other 7 that do most of the work.
Peterson, good with the conversion, and it's San Diego 24, Utah 8.
And we're about to see if Utah are able to really live up to their comeback kid status of last year.
Final break, as we will have one more hydration break. Just 20 minutes remaining. What does Utah have? The Warriors trailing 24-8 on the road. A man who needs no introduction in the world of rugby, Marnonu, the All-Black legend, 103 appearances for New Zealand, double World Cup winner. He was here in 2020, and he is back in 2022.
It's a great start by Utah. Great kick. This is what they want to do. No penalties. Make Utah kick the ball out. Get that platform inside the Utah half. They just have to hold on to these runners and let the clearance happen.
San Diego, they've been dominant here in the second half. Tries from Bassan, Augsburger, and Malcolm. Time starting to be a factor for Utah. They've mounted the comeback before. In fact, the last time these two teams saw each other. We've said it numerous times. They were down 17. They came back for the victory. Can they do it again here in round 1 of 2022? Vandenberg brought down by Tamilao. Nonu in as well. Nonu making himself known immediately. Quick tap and go. Saunders looking for support. Nonu and Vandenberg exchanging pleasantries. And here come the Warriors on the front foot trying to find something. Uhila. They couldn't get the offload to him. Looking to get across. Just shy of the try line is Utah.
Utah player. Referee calls.
And held up, says Scott Green. Nicely done by Ben Mitchell and company.
Well, great play by Utah. You can see what they're doing. Saunders took that ball, took it quickly. Quick tap, that was able to let them move it wide. And then great play by Whiting coming in. Uhia's right there. If he'd got that off, it would have been a try. And now because there is no ruck that was formed there, there's no offside. So those retiring San Diego defenders are able to make that tackle. And now we're going to get to one of the new laws this year, Kip, which is if you're held up over the line, it's no longer a 5-meter scrum. Now it's a dropout from the try line.
Chris Bowman, the tight head prop, 34-year-old out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado, and USA Eagle being attended to by the training staff. And there is the aforementioned dropout right to Teo. Probably not the man you want to kick it to. Teo unable to find space. Saunders met immediately. Vandenberg unable to get through. Saunders, McKenna. Little show and go. Utah having something, trying to find anything. McClellan. Now McKenna. Whiting, Utah waking up. Is it too little, too late?
Well, McKenna's now playing a lot of first receiver, and that's really helping them get onto the front foot. It'll be interesting to see if he ends up really just playing as a fly half, but he's definitely one of the directors. And the defense from San Diego in the middle has been really strong, and so attacking a little bit wider will be very helpful for Utah to try and get something of a go forward. You can see the physicality close in is really, really difficult for Utah to be able to get that go forward.
Saunders, Lubsa. Utah continuing to go through the phases. Van Vuren able to get through, finds the offload, does Yuri Van Vuren.
Fly half on attack.
A great tackle coming from behind for the Legion, trying to go out wide. Wilson had it. The captain unable to find anything. Now McClellan again.
Utah on attack.
Utah inching closer to that try line, doing it the hard way, the big men. McKenna. Very nicely done. Patient from Utah. And the penalty to the Warriors.
So interesting choice here. If I was Utah, I might take a scrum. Their scrum has been dominant. They're right in the middle of the field. You've got both Cruze and Teo on either side that you could isolate one-on-one. That would be an interesting choice. You need more points than the kick. And a scrum is what they've chosen. So this is always a little bit of a challenge because you're never quite sure what the referee is going to call. But the edge that Utah have had in the scrum, if they can get what's called a wheel, so if they can move the scrum, rotate it to the right or to the left, they should be able to create some one-on-one opportunities for their outside runners.
San Diego with a change at hooker. Matt Moulds, a 30-year-old from New Zealand, the former Worcester Warrior man, on as the hooker. We will see how that reconfigured front row holds up. Utah get a good scrum here, get a big push. They need points, and preferably of the 5 variety, not 3. There's the push from Utah. Saunders told to use it. Saunders has a man. Teo lost it, turned over. But back we will come. Utah playing with the advantage.
So that's the reset. So I think they can go with one more scrum if they wanted to, but they're not going to get anything from that next scrum, right? So they may be able to take one more and be able to go. So you can see that San Diego hold them, but they're splitting that San Diego pack. They're getting them to turn sideways, and I think Sanders needs to just move that ball to Teo to give Teo time to be able to attack.
I think Teo's saying the same thing. I need that ball quicker. And as soon as that ball reached him, there was a San Diego man ready to make the tackle.
So they know that if they go again, there'll be a penalty, but from that second penalty, they will not be able to have another scrum. So now what they want to do is use their dominance in the scrum to get that wheel right that gives them those opportunities. So you can see Tian Lutz is now on this side. Sorry, not Tian Lutz, Whiting. Calvin Whiting is now on this side of the field, and that allows them to, there's a 2-on-2. If they can get that wheel right, there's an opportunity to have Mikey Teo one-on-one. You can see they're not driving as much. They want the attacking opportunity.
There's the inside center. Whiting, number 12, with it, picked up immediately. Saunders looking to get it out wide, across and down. Try for the Warriors. Very well worked by Utah. Exactly what they needed. Cliven Lupsa, the Namibian international, dots it down.
Yeah, great decision. Not sure, like, it's one of those things when you're defending and you see Mikey Teo on the outside, you're always going to lean out there. You don't want to be beating around the outside. That lean of the defender allows the defender to come in. Important score. There's still time here. We know this is a Utah team that finishes hard. It's going to be really interesting to see. It's all going to be about the next kickoff.
Take another look. Saunders able to get it out wide. Lupsa did the rest.
You can see as the ball goes wide, you've got Tian Lutz. In fact, there were too many San Diego defenders on the outside. They had coverage, but that's what Mikey Teo does. He attracts those defenders. Great decision by Lupsa.
Lupsa will take his own conversion. A Namibian international, a 24-year-old, his second year in the Beehive State. So, no trouble, right down Main Street, and all of a sudden, it is back to a single-digit game.
So, this kickoff is probably where the game is, Kit. A good kickoff. I think you're going to see San Diego kick it deep with a good kick chase. They want to hold the Utah team inside their 22 or nearby and let them kick out. Utah, they probably don't want to kick it back. They're going to have to go for it here. They're going to need a good run by a Van Vuren or a Lance Williams to be able to go forward.
Back to McKenna again. If you are not already aware, you are missing out. The Rugby Network, rugbynetwork.com, free, live, and on demand. All you could ask for, archived matches. You can watch the best show on television when it comes to rugby, all access. The rugbynetwork.com. Big boot from Saunders. And I must say, I've been very impressed with Miles Saunders since coming on, the former Island U20 man.
I think he's been a big difference. You know, we know Danny Christensen was third string, and I think it's been a real problem for them to be able to play quickly. And there's Marnono with the kick, using his smarts. Just play down their end. That's all they need to do.
Nonu knowing the time is of the essence for Utah, sending it to the Warriors side, and they will return the favor, sending it right back. And this kick out. No, it will stay in, excuse me, able to get to it. Thought that was going to find touch, not the case. McKenna bobbles it, but it went backwards. Now McKenna, as Teo tells him to boom it downfield. Both sides exchanging kicks. Mattias, I believe, who's now found his way out. Ryan Mattias, the USA Eagle.
Huge error there, considering that just hold on to the ball and you can get the clock down, but it gives Utah a little bit of life. They just need to hold on to the ball.
Utah trailing by 9, under 10 minutes remaining. They will have to move quickly. That being said, you're riding that fine edge between being patient as Saunders tap and go. Saunders able to bounce off one. Finds the big second row into the hands that time of Lane. Van Vuren, McKenna. Oh, beautiful offload. McKenna able to find Fisher. Teo there trying to pull it out. But what a job at the breakdown. Fantastic work from San Diego.
That was a great turnover because Utah were really on the front foot and they were doing some really great stuff. And we see Michael Smith, this Canadian flanker, as the ball comes wide, the tackle happens, he goes down, releases, get on his feet, that number 20, able to hold on to the ball And I think it was Van Vuren not able to clean him out quickly enough, and a big turnover. San Diego have to be better at game management. We saw Mattias lose that ball in contact. They have this game. They have this game won if they hold on to the ball. They just have to be patient, play a simple game, and slow it down.
Impressive work coming off the bench from Michael Smith, the 24-year-old out of British Columbia, former Canadian U20 man. All right, now San Diego, one eye on the clock, and they understand the importance of playing clean, just coming out of this one. Can they come away with the victory to start the season 1-0?
New player in for the San Diego Legion, number 18, Patty Bryant.
Everyone can take a breath at this moment. It's the first game of the season. Everyone's feeling a little bit tired. Just take a big, deep breath. It's okay. You can see people stretching out. The hamstrings are going to feel tight. The calves are going to feel tight. We want to take their time, and that's what San Diego, they want this. You want Utah, they want to speed up the game. And so any break is good for San Diego.
Pete, you and I have spoken about it at length, the injuries and significant injuries that San Diego dealt with a year ago. If this side is able to stay healthy, and that's a big if, it is a long season, obviously injuries will happen, but if they're able to stay healthy, they will be a factor. That much we know. Today's match brought to you by Sharp Business Systems, proud sponsor of Major League Rugby.
And you can see Mikey Teo going and giving the ball to I think that was Nate Osberg to say, hey, get going, will ya? Two Eagle teammates.
Two former teammates here in San Diego, where Teo began his MLR career before heading up to the Wasatch Mountains.
Last time they had a line out, San Diego took it down and they drove it in. That's what they're going to do here. They want to win the line out, and they want to take it slowly, drive the maul. The question is, can they win the line out? The defense has been pretty good. As they do, they'll take it in and they'll drive it and try and control the ball for the last 7 minutes of the game.
Good line out from Molds, able to establish that driving maul. Oh, look at San Diego go inside the 22, able to peel off, lost his footing, finds Mitchell. Mitchell across, waiting for the signal. On the spot, and they will award it. There is Scott Green right down amongst the fray. Mitchell able to dot it down.
Dan Mitchell with his try.
So that maul again, that drive inside that really broke apart the Utah defense, and then they saw the space, able to break. And I think, put the game away. It's been a pretty satisfying game so far for San Diego. For Utah, we know that they came in a little bit undercooked, not quite able to play, and we're seeing that a little bit here, but showed enough, I think, Utah to say, hey, we've got some things that we can do, but not able to take the opportunities that they had, particularly in that first half.
Peterson successful on the conversion, the try from Big Ben Mitchell, and that may well be the nail in the coffin.
That's right, the drive was excellent, they broke it off, and then Ben Mitchell, who always seems to be on the shoulder of the ball carrier, great effort by Lobster to try and hold it up, but Ben Mitchell's able to turn it round. You have to touch the ball down in the try zone to be able to get it down.
Been some impressive performances. We will see who comes away with our player of the match today. There are certainly some very good nominees. Teo unable to hold on. Uhila couldn't find the USA Eagle. And Teo, you and I mentioned it early on, Pete, neither he nor Mika Kruse has been a factor whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, the defense of San Diego has been excellent, but I think, I'm a former scrum half, so I look at that service, and we saw a difference when Sanders came on. The ball's able to move quickly, and Nate Osberger has been the heartbeat of the Legion for a couple of years. He allows them to play the game that they want to play. The ball is able to be moved quickly, and when Osberger is able to move that ball quickly, the Legion are able to play that wide attacking game that we love to see them play.
Now you can make a case for so many San Diego players man of the match. I think Ben Mitchell, who just scored the previous tries, had a fantastic match, the big second row. Chris Robshaw, very influential, particularly in the first half, had the great run, doing a good job on attack. And Nate Augsburger, what a difference it makes having a healthy number 9 in the captain back. Nonu, Nonu gets through one, fins off a second across midfield, able to find Peterson. Peterson looking to go back inside, turned over into the hands of Teo, and Utah with it. You see what Nonu can do. It takes very little, and he makes it look so easy, as all the great ones do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This one charged down, Robshaw able to get it back. Pryor out wide, Peterson has support, overlapping run, Nonu there as well.
I think we're just seeing some tiredness here from players, lots of sort of standing around waiting for the referee to blow his whistle, but he isn't. Scott Green's done a great job of letting this game fly.
Scott Green, he's been a member of MLR since year 1, as we said. He was the referee for that first ever championship match. Top flight referees across the league. Hooley, Nonu. It'll kick through, Pryor closest to it. His countryman unable to beat Teo. Teo dancing. Back for the whistle, we will go.
So the advantage played, that's what allowed Nonu to be able to put that kick, because he knew it was going to come back. So you can see Augsburger under pressure getting it away, and look at the little step and the power that allows him to go through and then to move that ball wide. And really great cover by Mikey Teo, able to get back. He's done more on defense than we've seen him do on offense in this game.
And it's rare you say that, as electric as he is with ball in hand, but Teo, he's been a bigger factor on the defensive side by far. And if you're Utah, that is not something you want to see. San Diego has done a very good job of keeping him in check.
I think that's right, and here we are, another line out. The drive has been so effective. The drive infield that doesn't allow the Utah defense to be able to get in there. We'll see them go again. Let's see if Utah have a solution. You can see that drive in field that takes away defenders and allows them to do that. Much better defense there by Utah.
Advantage for San Diego. Can the Legion find another? This one may well already be in the bag, but can they add the exclamation point? Augsburger with it. Brought down by Gieselman. Still shy of the try line are the Legion. Cohort fans on their feet, exhorting their side. Can they find another? Across. Scott Green there. We've yet to see a signal. He's going to say it is held up. Well done defensively. Van Vuren in amongst the bodies for the Warriors.
Looks like there was some advantage that was being played. So it's going to be a penalty. Interesting to see what San Diego does here. Up. Looks like he's talking. It's a little bit of a warning here that says that if we have another penalty down here, it's going to be a yellow card. Looks like it was a scrum, and maybe he was saying it was held up, but it was held up short of the line.
Having a word there with the captain, Bailey Wilson, as we said, the youngest captain in MLR, now a ripe 22. He was a captain last year at 21. Impressive young talent as the replacements bench starting to empty for San Diego, and they will bring on some local products. Thomas Reyes on alongside Nico Gilly. Gilly, the young man from Encinitas, who actually grew up right down the street from the Legion headquarters. He was called up from Ombak. Very well-known club program here in Southern California.
One of the benefits that San Diego have is they have such a strong local club system. So I was honored to coach Ombak for a little bit. Chris Diori was there when I coached. It's such a great program, and it allows the Legion to have some natural depth.
Over the head, Nonu unable to hold it. Here comes Teo, Mikey Teo turning on the Jets. Teo has McKenna with him. It's going to be a race to the try line. Caleb McKenna on the horse, across and down. the rookie from New Zealand, finds the try for Utah. It will not change the end result, but it'll certainly make the Warriors feel a bit better.
I mean, just all came from the turnover. That's a long way to run. You can see Mikey Teo's like, I want to save my hamstrings. As the ball comes back, we just talked about Gilly coming in. Nono not able to control it. You could see here, you can see Teo's got the ball and he goes, oh, let me get it to the young guy. Let the young guy take the next 50 meters.
The kick pushed wide to the left.
Interesting, if they have one more opportunity, maybe they can get another try. That gets them within 3, they'll get them 2 bonus points. So Utah have the ability to do that. So they're looking to get this ball, get one more score, and then that'll get them 2 bonus points. And we saw how important bonus points were last year.
Right you are. Every point at a premium. The parity in MLR, how good teams are from the top to the bottom. And that's exactly what Utah is trying for here. Can they find another try? Can they get that bonus point? They will come away with the loss. But a bonus point would help things all that much.
And that's really going to help them. They kicked it all the way through. So scrum in the center of the field with the runners. Is this a chance for Mika Kruse or Mikey Teo to do something?
So Utah has it right at midfield. Still time, still the opportunity.
So here we go. Last chance. This is what bonus points do. It makes the end, even though the outcome of the game is over, Utah have something to play for. So if they get a try, that gets them that extra bonus point.
Saunders to put in right on the midfield stripe. San Diego will start the season at 1-0. The bonus point so important for Utah, even in the loss. Can they find another? They find that try. Advantage for Saunders in Utah.
So even though we're past 80 minutes, you can't end the game on a penalty. So this allows Utah to kick the ball to touch and create the attacking platform with a line out. This game is still going. They still have something to play for. So here we go, a chance to get a try. So if they get a try, they get a bonus point for 4, and they'll get a bonus point for finishing within 7s. There are 2 points available for them. This line out is really critical. And of course, for San Diego, it's important because this is a rival. They don't want them to get those bonus points.
Right you are, able to establish that driving maul. Saunders there at the back, ball in the hand of Ugo Koto. Now, Saunders. Ugo Koto still the Fijian international. Inside the 22. Finally brought to ground. Saunders bringing reinforcements over. Now Saunders. Staunch defending from the Legion. Doing everything they can to keep their rivals off the board.
So hard from those mauls to create a structure that you need. Here we go, it's another penalty. I would take a scrum right here, see what you can do, or maybe they're gonna kick to touch. It's gonna be an interesting, I might take a scrum and go for it again because they'll get a penalty and then they'll get a free play to get over the line.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. Calling for the scrum are the Warriors. So again, they have the 3 tries. 4 would give them the bonus point. And also,
a kick gets them 1 bonus point, right? A try gets them 2 bonus points.
And right now, every point at a premium, they understand that. It's not about going for that kick. They want the try and the 2.
I think it's also the idea that in this scrum, they've been so dominant that they're gonna get a penalty, and with that penalty, they'll get an advantage. They'll get a free play to try and get over the line and get the try. And if they don't get the try that time, they'll come back and maybe then they'll get the points and say, you know what, we'll take it and we'll just let it play. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. Of course, they get 2 chances from the scrum. We saw that before, but they have to be really accurate here. You're never quite sure what the referee's going to call if the scrum goes down. They have to continue that dominance.
Both sides absolutely gassed. They are spent. 80-plus minutes of action. Utah, their first match of the year. No preseason matches for the Warriors. San Diego, a pair of losses in the preseason to Austin and LA. They will start 2022 1-0. The only question is, how many bonus points, if any, will Utah get? Teo wrapped up at the 5. Saunders tried to get around. Spun through 1, went back inside where he's wrapped up.
Saunders needs to move that ball just a little bit quicker, Kit. He's trying to do, he can't be the runner. He's got to let the runners come off him.
Vandenberg unable to get through, trying to find Vugokoto, the big front row. Now back, McKenna had the last try, went almost coast to coast, did the young Kiwi.
Still on advantage, so they can still get a chance to play.
Saunders directing traffic. Back we will come, the advantage. Lupsa looks like he is going to send it to touch. Line out coming, you would imagine, for Utah. We'll see if that is indeed the case.
Maybe a warning there from Scott Green saying, hey, we're near the line, don't want to have a yellow card.
Well, Lupsa indeed sending this one out. Line out for the Warriors.
Now the Warriors haven't had a great, like that last line out, they had a good drive. Vugokoto at the back, able to do a really good job. It's going to be really, really difficult here. They just have to get there. Interesting to see. It looks like San Diego staying on the ground just to defend the drive and not the throw.
Indeed the case. San Diego, oh, very well done defending the drive. No momentum. And now Vugokoto at the back. A bit of a push. Figuratu Vugokoto across and down. The try for Vugokoto and the Warriors.
Well, they were very, very patient. They scored the try. That got them 2 bonus points. San Diego wanted to hold them out, weren't able to. I bet when we come back, we're going to see, when we come back at the end of the season, we're going to see these 2 points, the extra 7 minutes past the 80, the effort that Utah put in. That's going to be important for them when they look at being in one of the top 3 to get into the playoffs at the end of the season.
Take another look at the line out. Able to establish them all, and there is Vugokoto on the back, just biding his time.
Well, you can see Pryor has to come in and defend them all. As soon as Pryor comes in and defends them all, there's no one there really to defend. You've got a backup there. That's not going to work. And so last kick of the game, Utah will be disappointed, but not too disappointed to come down to San Diego and get those 2 points. And of course, San Diego starting with a win is going to be important for them.
Lupsa. And it tails back in. Successful Utah. Able to come back, but ultimately not enough time. 31-29, San Diego with the victory. The Legion hold on to start the season 1-0. What a second half. As you remember, Pete, it was 5-3 at the halftime break.
Yeah, I would like to say that at least our prediction of a high-scoring game was fulfilled in the second half. Some of that, I think, is tiredness. Nate Osberger, so important in being able to move the ball, able to get it out. It's his ability to move it so quickly, to be able to see the space and be able to get that ball, move it wide. Ben Mitchell with the great hands, the forwards creating the space for Joe Peterson over. But I think it is really Nate Osberger that has been able to be the heartbeat of the attack of San Diego.
Joe Peterson, the ballast point moment of the match. So San Diego able to hold on for the victory, in large part because the captain is back fully healthy. Augsburger leading the Legion to the 31-29 win in round 1.